The field of archaeology is often romanticized as a pursuit of unbridled exploration, a discipline where digging deep reveals the truth of human history. However, the reality is far more complex and restrictive. Across the globe, there exist ancient sites of immense historical significance that remain hermetically sealed, inaccessible even to the world's most prestigious researchers. These are not merely hard-to-reach locations, they are places where entry is explicitly forbidden by governments, religious authorities, or the harsh realities of physics. The reasons for these bans vary, from the preservation of fragile ecosystems to the prevention of diplomatic crises and the respect for ancestral spirits. Consequently, vast chapters of human history remain locked behind physical barriers and bureaucratic red tape, leaving us to wonder what secrets lie in the dark. The Egyptian enigmas, subterranean voids, and giant bulls. Nowhere is the tension between curiosity and conservation more palpable than in Egypt. The Great Pyramid of Giza, the last standing wonder of the ancient world, continues to guard its deepest secrets. While the upper chambers are world famous, the area beneath the pyramid remains a source of intense controversy. In the 19th century, explorers discovered a subterranean chamber carved into the bedrock, accessed by a claustrophobic descending passage. However, the true mystery lies deeper. In 1992, ground-penetrating radar revealed a significant void beneath this subterranean floor. The Egyptian government responded by sealing the area and banning further exploration. Despite proposals to use non-invasive drones or microdrills, authorities cite structural instability as the reason for the blackout. Whether this void is an abandoned rough draft or a hidden burial chamber remains unknown, effectively frozen in time since the early 1990s. A similar situation exists at the Serapeum of Saqqara, a bizarre and massive underground complex designed to house the sacred Apis bulls. The site features granite sarcophagi weighing over 70 tons, the engineering of which still baffles modern observers. While the main corridors were explored in the 1800s, laser mapping in 2012 revealed the existence of additional chambers hidden behind sealed walls. Fearing tunnel collapse, the Ministry of Antiquities has maintained a strict ban on these areas. This means that companion chambers to the largest stone coffins ever found remain uninspected, leaving archaeologists to merely guess at their contents. In East Asia, the restriction of archaeological sites is often driven by reverence for ancestry and the sanctity of the dead. Japan's landscape is dotted with kofun, massive burial mounds constructed between the 3rd and 7th centuries. The largest, the Daisen Kofun, is a 1,500-foot-long keyhole-shaped island of earth. Despite its size and visibility, it is virtually unstudied. The Imperial Household Agency strictly forbids excavation, viewing the sites as the sacred resting places of the imperial family's ancestors. For decades, scientific requests were universally rejected. While very minor digs have been recently permitted at peripheral sites, the central tombs remain untouched. Researchers suspect these mounds could hold revolutionary evidence regarding the origins of the imperial line or early influence from the Korean peninsula. But until the strictures are lifted, this history remains buried. Similarly, in China, the discovery of the Terracotta Army in 1974 was arguably the greatest archaeological find of the 20th century. However, the clay soldiers are merely the guardians of a much larger secret, the actual tomb of the first emperor. Ancient texts describe a subterranean palace with rivers of flowing mercury and mechanical defenses. Scientific scans have confirmed dangerously high mercury levels in the soil, lending credence to the legends. Consequently, the Chinese government has banned the excavation of the central tomb until preservation technology advances enough to guarantee the contents won't be destroyed upon exposure to air. Nearby, a cave of warriors remains sealed due to collapse risks, leaving the emperor's final resting place a tantalizing mystery. In Mexico, the ancient city of Teotihuacan offered a stunning surprise in 2003 when a rainstorm opened a sinkhole near the Pyramid of the Feathered Serpent. This hole led to a sealed tunnel, untouched for nearly 2,000 years, filled with thousands of ritual artifacts and pools of liquid mercury, likely symbolizing a supernatural underworld river. However, as archaeologists delved deeper, they encountered extreme structural instability. The tunnel walls are so fragile that a single wrong move could collapse the entire system. As a result, Mexico's National Institute of Anthropology and History halted excavations halfway through. Laser scans suggest the presence of a royal tomb beyond the blockage, but for now, the physical danger makes the site impenetrable. In Europe, the primary enemy of archaeology is often the human presence itself. The Chauvet Cave in France contains some of the oldest and most spectacular Ice Age art ever discovered, dating back over 30,000 years. The paintings look as though they were finished yesterday. To prevent the introduction of mold, carbon dioxide, and microbes that destroyed the art in Lascaux, the government has hermetically sealed Chauvet. Only a handful of scientists enter yearly, and even they are banned from specific corridors to protect prehistoric footprints on the cavern floor. Similarly, in Malta, the Hypogeum is a subterranean necropolis from 4000 BC, famous for its oracle room, which possesses unique acoustic properties. The lowest level, once found filled with bones, began to deteriorate rapidly due to moisture introduced by visitors. Consequently, this bottom level has been sealed off entirely to save the structure, locking away the deepest part of the mystery. Faith and politics, the unreachable heights and depths. Finally, some bans are enforced by the explosive combination of religion and geopolitics. The Temple Mount in Jerusalem sits atop a honeycomb of ancient cisterns, tunnels, and the legendary Well of Souls. Because the site is sacred to Judaism, Islam, and Christianity, it is a geopolitical flashpoint. The Israeli government strictly controls access, and excavations beneath the central platform are forbidden to prevent religious riots or war. In Tibet, Mount Kailash is considered the spiritual center of the universe by 4 major religions. It is strictly forbidden to climb or disturb the mountain. While satellite imagery has shown geometric anomalies that suggest ancient man-made structures, the Chinese government enforces a total ban on exploration, leaving Kailash as perhaps the least understood major archaeological site on Earth. From the unstable bedrock of Egypt to the political powder keg of Jerusalem, these sites remind us that the past does not always belong to the present. Whether to protect the sanctity of the dead, the stability of a structure, or the peace of a region, these restrictions ensure that for now, some of history's most compelling chapters remain unread. We are left only with scans, legends, and the knowledge that beneath our feet lie worlds we are not yet allowed to touch.